Hello lovely people! This week I'm doing something a little bit different and I'm trying out a video that I saw on Jen Campbell's channel called My Favourite First Lines.
Sophie Vlogs.
I can't remember who instigated the sort of tag thing, but I will have also linked to their channel below. I highly recommend you watch their videos, and now I'm going to dive into mine. A small note before we begin, this is all going to be fictional prose. I'm thinking of doing a poetry version of this. Let me know if that's something you're interested in. Maybe you'll see it in a couple of weeks' time. Who knows, we'll see. But for now, let's dive in. Stardust by Neil Gaiman. There was once a young man who wished to gain his heart's desire. Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. Last night I dreamt I went to Mandalay again. Mortal Engines by Philip Reeve. It was a dark, blustery afternoon in spring, and the city of London was chasing a small mining town across the dried-out bed of the old North Sea. Midnight over Sanctifrax, Paul Stewart and Chris Whittle. Out in the vast cloudscape, a lone skyship in full sail cut through the thin air. 1,000 Nights by E.K. Johnston. We do not know why we came from the sea to this hard and dusty earth, but we know that we are better than it. Cat's Eye by Margaret Atwood. Time is not a line, but a dimension, like the dimensions of space. Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. Alice was beginning to get very tired of sitting by her sister on the bank and of having nothing to do. Once or twice she had peeped into the book her sister was reading, but it had no pictures or conversations in it. And what is the use of a book, thought Alice, without pictures or conversations? Through the Looking Glass by Lewis Carroll. One thing was certain, that the white kitten had nothing to do with it. It was the black kitten's fault entirely. The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. There was a hand in the darkness, and it held a knife. Boulder's Love by Gwyneth Jones. The sun was setting in a flood of scarlet and gold as a small white van cruised to a halt on the Caversham Road. The Amber Spyglass by Philip Pullman. In a valley shaded with rhododendrons, close to the snow line, where a stream milky with meltwater splashed, and where doves and linnets flew among the immense pines, lay a cave, half hidden by the crag above and the stiff heavy leaves that clustered below. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone by J.K. Rowling. Mr. and Mrs. Dursley of number 4 Privet Drive were proud to say that they were perfectly normal, thank you very much. The Iliad, translated by Robert Fagles. Rage, goddess, sing the rage of Peleus' son Achilles. The Iliad, translated by Martin Hammond. Sing, goddess, of the anger of Achilles, son of Peleus, the accursed anger which brought uncounted anguish on the Achaeans and hurled down to Hades many mighty souls of heroes, making their bodies the prey to dogs and the birds feasting, and this was the working of Zeus's will. The Ladies of Grace Adieu by Susanna Clarke. Above all, remember this, that magic belongs as much to the heart as to the head, and everything which is done should be done from love or joy or righteous anger. Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. Christmas won't be Christmas without any presents, grumbled Jo, lying on the rug. The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. The circus arrives without warning. The Odyssey, translated by Martin Hammond. Muse, tell me of a man of much resource, who was made to wander far and long after he had sacked the sacred city of Troy. The Silk Vendetta by Victoria Holt. As I grew out of childhood, it began to dawn on me that there was something rather mysterious about my presence in the Silk House. Orange is Not the Only Fruit by Jeanette Winterson. Like most people, I lived for a long time with my mother and father. The Knife of Never Letting Go by Patrick Ness. The first thing you find out when your dog learns to talk is that dogs don't got nothing much to say. A Single Man by Christopher Isherwood. Waking up begins with saying am and now. The Book of Lost Things by John Connolly. Once upon a time, for that is how all stories should begin, there was a boy who lost his mother. How to Live Safely in a Science Fictional Universe by Charles Yu. When it happens, this is what happens. I shoot myself. Behind the Scenes at the Museum by Kate Atkinson. I Exist! The Blind Assassin by Margaret Atwood. 10 days after the war ended, my sister Laura drove a car off a bridge. Anansi Boys by Neil Gaiman. It begins, as most things begin, with a song. Those are all the first lines I have for you for now. I'm sure there are a lot more which I'm forgetting which are just wonderful. Let me know if you'd like me to do a poetry version of this. I think I probably will do one because I've got some ideas. And please let me know in the comments below if I've missed out any of your favourite lines, or just if you like any of the books that I happen to have mentioned. I hope you're having a super lovely day, and I will see you next week.